Well, hello, guys. I just wanted to show you something that I thought was really interesting. This is something that I've waited for a long time to come in, and a few weeks ago I had the opportunity to get one, and so I finally did. This is a 1 ounce gold British Britannia Coronation coin that was released by the British Mint last year to commemorate King Charles III's coronation, of course, taking over the throne from Queen Elizabeth II, who passed away in 2022. This was a coin that I had wanted to get the moment I saw it. I've been a fan of British Britannias for a couple years now, and I did get a 2022 British Britannia, I think early last year, that I really liked. But this was something I wanted to get, and I was going to get it last year, but I wound up waiting, and so I got it a few weeks ago, and after a few weeks of waiting and missing a couple of FedEx shipments, it finally came in, and so I was finally able to get my coin that I'd wanted to get for a while. I really like the British Britannias. I like their design, and I also like the fact that they're 4/9 purity. It just makes for a much shinier luster of a coin. I think the design also is really, really nice. You can kind of see it up close there, and hopefully the light is doing it justice. But it's just a really, really nice coin. It's a great thing to add to any stacker collection. If you're into buying gold or silver or any type of precious metals, I really highly recommend the British Britannias. Another reason I like to get them is because the overspot fees tend to be lower for the Britannias, I've noticed, than the American Eagles, the American Buffalo, and the Canadian Maple Leaf as well. I go on, typically I buy from JM Bullion, although for this coin, I bought from a new place that I hadn't used before, called Silver Gold Bull, which actually has some of the lowest overspot prices that I've seen. So that is a pretty good place to use, but traditionally I've used JM Bullion. That's kind of my default. But this one came in from Silver Gold Bull, which is an exchange I would recommend. But the overspot fees, I notice on Britannias tend to be like maybe 70, 80, or 90, depending on where you're buying from. Whereas the American Eagles overspot, I've noticed, can be like 100 or even more. Same with the Canadian Maple Leaf and the American Gold Buffaloes as well. They tend to have a lot higher overspot fees. So the Britannia is not only, for me personally, the best looking coin, but also it's the cheapest in terms of overspot fees as well, which I think makes for a very good value overall if you're buying gold. And that overspot fee, by the way, that applies if you're buying 1 ounce or higher. Obviously, if you're buying in smaller quantities, if you're getting a 1/4 ounce, 1/10, whatever, you're going to pay higher overspot relative to the total price of gold itself. So that's just something to keep in mind. A few things about this coin. They only made 10,000 of them. For the silver edition, they only made 200,000 of the British Britannia silver 1 ounce Coronation coins, but they made 10,000 of these. And they're still out there. They're still available. You just have to look. I've noticed that there's a couple exchanges that are in the UK that have them in stock, but there's a lot of places that right around the beginning of the year, they just went out of stock completely. But some of them still have them out there somewhere. I had wanted to get this sometime last year from JM Bullion, and I just kept waiting and waiting, and finally I was going to get it, and then they were out of stock. So I went to go look, and fortunately Silver Gold Bull had one. So I was able to get one a few weeks ago and get it in. So I highly recommend, if you're into gold, if you're into precious metals, I think British Britannias are the best way to go. Like I said, it's the best looking coin. They offer the best value for the money. They're heavily available. I mean, they're very liquid. They're just as good as the U.S. American Eagles or the Buffaloes. And another thing is as I mentioned earlier, they're 4/9 purity. So just a great looking coin overall. And I'll just try to hold it a little bit closer there so you can see. The only thing that sets the Coronation coins apart from the regular British Britannias is the crown on King Charles' head there, of course, because traditionally the male monarch is depicted without the crown, but they have the crown on there for the coronation, whereas the Queen Elizabeth, British Britannias, of course, she has the crown. So just overall a beautiful coin.